Hello garden friends. Today we get to explore the Mendocino Botanical Gardens together. So here's the front gate as you come in, and you know it's going to be a great garden when the parking lot wows you in itself. All of these beautiful plantings are in the parking lot. You get a beautiful tour of gardens and plants without even going in yet. I was impressed with the heaths and heathers here, and so many neat things. You can do so much just with those. Look at that. That's Calluna vulgans bonita heather. Look at that color. Isn't it gorgeous? And then next to the heath, and then there's whites. I just was floored by the variety of just the heaths and heathers. Wouldn't these be gorgeous in your garden? And they grow so thickly inside. They have a whole heath and heather section, and you don't have to mulch. They grow so closely that there's no gaps between for weeds, etc. So it's a little overcast this morning, so I'm hoping everything comes in well or shows well, and I'm trying to walk slow. I have to tell myself to slow down. I get so excited by the next thing that I get going too fast for you. But look at this, isn't it beautiful? Look at that purple color back there. Isn't that just breathtaking? I just love it. I also love, which I'm getting into more, is the ornamental grasses. Look at how these are. Now, this Mendocino is zone 9B, but very cool coastal 9B. It's unlike when I was in the valley. That's a 9B, and it's very hot and dry in the summer. Like this is July 27th. And the highs have been in the low 60s with overcast skies. In fact, we had rain on our car this morning here, so it stays very cool. And then you have the coastal influence of the fog frequently. So much different than the 9B of the Central Valley, where it's like 100 and something today. Another thing I've been impressed with are the conifers, all the different sizes and shapes and colors. Look all along here. They alone make a beautiful landscape. And the textures, there's just so many interesting ones. Look at this interesting plant. It's called Globularia blue eyes, globe daisy. Aren't those just so pretty? I love that. Can you hear the birds? Another thing that takes my breath away is the pelargoniums here. They become massive bushes. Many of us grow them, but they maintain a much smaller size because they don't overwinter. But here, they overwinter. Isn't that beautiful? The fuchsias grow into bushes here. In fact, at the bed and breakfast we've been staying at, they have a hedge trimmed like a hedge, but it's fuchsia, and it's just so surprising when I could barely get one to grow in a hanging pot. One thing that I have found so magnificent here is the alstromerias. I always say that wrong, but these have just been outstanding throughout the gardens. This area is called the Perennial Garden, and I'll take you down along. I'm going to do my best to try to avoid people. I came in early just so I wouldn't have to try to video around people. But this is a very, very popular place. But look at these. Look at that Dara, or Queen Anne's lace. The different salvias. And look at the moss. Don't you love that, how it's growing over the rock? That's Scleranthus biflorus. I wonder if that's the technical name or horticultural name for Scotch moss, because it looks very similar to the Scotch moss. And these ground covers down here, lots of interesting ground covers that are quite beautiful in themselves. More salvia. I hope my salvias fill in like this. And look at this. Clusterhead pink, Dianthus carthusinarium. Oh, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but you get the idea. But look at that Dianthus, look how tall it is. Beautiful. We have a pathway that goes up here. Gravel, which I love gravel. And look at these Veronicas. I'm pretty sure this is Veronica. I need to look at the name. But some more Alstromerias. Look how tall they get here. In my house, they don't get that tall. And here's some red campion. I think I lost mine this year. Most people are familiar with the rose campion, but this is red campion. Flowers are a little bit different. And I got mine from a friend, and I might have to hit her up for some more. But look at the balloon flowers. Aren't those pretty? Am I moving small enough? Look at this thing. Let's see. This is a Jachroma grandiflora. Look at these purple flowers. I have not seen something like that. I don't know if it'll grow in my area. I'll have to look. That'd be pretty to have. So very different. And look at this. Isn't that pretty with the white tips or little white flowers on there? Definitely a sage. Which one? I don't know. Here is, oh, look at this geranium down here. Look at the white leaves on it. Isn't that neat? And then it's called Orkney Dawn is the name of that one. So pretty. Now look at these down here. Such beautiful contrasting colors.
One time I did get a hummingbird at photograph.
I love how they have the little sedums and mosses growing into the gravel. And then the low growing plants that come down in the crevices of the rocks. Up there's some cosmos. I'll be still so we can look at that. This looks like fleabane. Whoop!
Excuse me.
Had to let a worker go by. But look at that Dara. Isn't that beautiful? I have seeds. I didn't get them started this year. I finally got some seeds of the fleabane. I can't wait to get some started. And here's the Roseanne geranium. Isn't that doing beautiful? Mine gets taller than this, but I trim it back and then it reblooms. But I also bought here another geranium I've been on the hunt for. It's called Anne Folkard. And look at those poppies. Look at this little fuchsias. Aren't those gorgeous? I think they're fuchsias. How interesting those are. Oh, wait. It's a hummingbird. It looks like a rufous. Oh, it's right over there. Whoops, he flew away. It looks like a male. Little fat sucker. Lots of hummingbirds in here. Tons of rhododendrons. What I love too is all these old pieces of wood, gnarly pieces of wood used as garden art in here. Some of them, they have stuff planted in the crevices. And here's a sign. It tells you go to the Perennial Garden, the Rose Garden. The Rose Garden, the Heritage Rose Garden, has got a few blooms on it, but not a whole lot going on in there. So we're not even going to worry about that section. There's so much to see. There's no way I could do the whole garden. So I'm just going to give you some highlights. Look at this beautiful rose. That is in full bloom and loving it here. And next to it, the geranium, the Roseanne geranium. Beautiful color combination. More of the Dara down here. And the pathway. Okay, look at the fleabane, how it just fills in so pretty. The dainty little flowers. This spreads by seed. Some people consider it a little aggressive, but obviously you can see how it fills in here and there just beautifully. And look at these Nicotianas. Aren't they wonderful? The beautiful perennials through here, how they've got them planted is so wonderful. But then I'm going to take you to see their Dahlia garden. But you can really get an idea. Look at this color, the chartreuse of this. And when they have chocolate cosmos, to me it smells like Tootsie Rolls. And not just like dark chocolate, it's Tootsie Roll chocolate. And there's no name on that plant, but I could get out my plant snap and my plant app and identify it. But I love that color. And look at this little geranium down here. That's a different one. It doesn't have a name tag on it. But the poppies, I bet you those were gorgeous. But even the seed heads here are quite wonderful. I'm going to show you an example of these beautiful